And I think this is most exemplified, son, in, yes, well, all right, first of all, it takes forever to fire Boylan. You know, it took him until the regular season ended. So everybody's freaking out. Is AK going to actually keep Boylan on for a shortened season last year? And then, you know, you start hearing about things, and then he fires him.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the search begins. What's going to happen? Are they going to get Udoku from the Sixers? Are they going to get Kenny Atkinson? Are they going to get this guy Russ Unfelt from the Nuggets? Excuse me if I mispronounced that. And then Oklahoma City gets axed from the playoffs, and they fire Billy Donovan. So he jumps in like right away, and he hires freaking Billy Donovan. So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay. Gosh, where to start with this one? Listen,
It's huge.
Okay, first of all, anything's an upgrade. A turtle would have been an upgrade
Yes!
from Jim Boylan. Okay, but one of the things, and I'll start with this. After watching Billy Donovan, I mean, he's like the winningest coach in the University of Florida. He moves on to Oklahoma City, where he has like a 600 win percentage with the Thunder, regardless of who he had on the team, whether it was KD and Westbrook or whoever. The point is, one of the things I do want to mention is with Billy Donovan teams, I never really got a sense of an identity of what the team is like. Are they a high octane team? Like, I'll give you an example. If I say Mike D'Antoni, you have a very clear idea of how that team's run. If I say Phil Jackson, you have a clear idea of how that team is run. When you say Billy Donovan, you're not quite as clear on how the team is run on the court.
Yeah.
But some things that he does do well, his teams have always done well, is they've rebounded well.
Yes.
They played good defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Defensively, and they share the ball. And that's the other thing we need to talk about is the fact that they play a motion style offense with at Oklahoma City where everybody gets opportunities to score. And I think that is his formula for winning, and he's been successful regardless of who's been playing there.
Yeah, and that's so big, son. Like, and we'll get into that motion stuff. That's because that was one of our biggest problems. That's why Markkanen was drifting out to the 3-point line. That's why he was saying, "Oh, I don't know if this is really working." And there was so much ISO ball going on, especially with Colby White, which definitely showed his potential. But there was a lot of ISO ball with Levine and White.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm so excited about this is bringing him back to AK. This truly shows that he had autonomy to make this hire.
Mm-hmm.
He would have 2 different coaches, now 3 on the payroll. And still, Michael Reinsdorf said, "It's your dude. You do what you want." He saw Donovan available, and he said, "That's my guy. I saw him in Florida. I saw him in OKC. And he's going to bring this level of experience to where Bulls haven't hired somebody coming who was actually a previous coach since 2003, Scott Skiles.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually have some reputation coming into the building to where they'll actually respect him, the players, instead of like he's a freaking joke.
Right.
And that's so big with a young team with 23, 24, 25, 19-year-olds who actually can be molded here. And I think it's so cool that Donovan at Oklahoma City was able to fit. And maybe that's part of the reason, son, where you didn't see a clear style is because since he came into the league, he's had so many different teams.
Correct.
So he had to deal with Durant and Westbrook. He had to deal with all those stars. And then he just had to deal with Westbrook and all these pieces around him.
Mm-hmm.
Then Westbrook leaves and he gets Chris Paul. So he gets this leader. But all of a sudden, he's developing this whole team into a team that should have only won like 25 games into the 5th seed.
Correct.
So it sounds like he really, really is able to mold talent. He's able to really, probably because of his college roots.
Mm-hmm.
He's very personal. He cares about the players. It's just totally, totally different. And for a young team to have somebody like Donovan come in and mold them and just get to know them on a personal level, I think it's going to be huge for the development of this team, even to the point where, and we'll talk about it in the next video, I think the coach is strong enough to make a move to the Bulls into the 7th or 8th seed next year. Just a coach alone.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, imagine if you were an 18, 19-year-old like Patrick Williams, and now you've got a coach who's coached Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. Now you're looking at this in a much different light than you would if Jim Boylan and his bald head was still running the team.
That's why Zach LaVine in the video. So I'm so sorry. I got to mention this.
No,
Zach
go ahead.
LaVine was playing Xbox, and he's watching, and then somebody tells him, Billy Donovan got hired, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh shit." Right. And it was just so cool. And you should YouTube it after this video. It was just so cool to see. All right, there was a right away respect. And
Yes.
it was like, okay, awesome.
Well, not only that, I feel like it's going to hold these players accountable now, because now they're coming in. Now the focus is on winning. The focus is on player development and winning. And the Bulls organization, A.K. Eversley and Billy Donovan, have all made it very clear that development has to go hand in hand with winning. Yes. And this is the formula now. So now the stakes have been raised on these young players. Kobe White's not going to come in thinking that he's going to put up 20 shots, but now it's about how do we win?
Yeah.
And I think that is a mentality shift from previous Bulls teams. So it's going to be fun to see, Tim. This is going to be great.
I almost feel more excitement and hope for this team than any other Chicago team.
Yes. Well, it's the youngest team in the NBA or the second youngest team in the NBA, one of the two. And basically here's Billy Donovan and this organization getting a handle of players like LaVine, and LaVine's like the veteran on the team, for crying out loud.
And he's like 24, 25. It's just insane. He's rounding into like this star player.
He's barely entering his prime, maybe not even yet. Oh, you're talking about LaVine and Kobe White and Patrick Williams and Markin and Wendell Carter, Otto Porter. It's going to be a fun group to see how well they develop and play together.
And that's what I love too, just rounding it back to AK. I know a lot of people wanted trades. They wanted things to happen right away because they thought, oh, man, he knows the roster. Let's just blow it up. And they might mid-season, but it's exciting that he was like, I'm going to stand still. And maybe it's part of the just European-looking, just stoic dude who looks like he's going to kill somebody. Just has that look.
Eastern European.
Yeah. Just like, I got my Tommy gun back here. Anyway, maybe it's just like, I give him credit that he said, let's see what a new coach does to these players.
I think that's what you have to do as a coach. Sorry. I mean, I
cut you off like 7 times.
Oh, please. No. I had to just jump in really quick before I forgot. Yeah. You have to see what you have in these players first.
Yeah.
You have to, and you have to see what they actually can do, what their actual skill set is before you decide you want to you want to give up on them or move them. I think that's so important because I know one of the reasons why AK took this job is because he saw the young talent on the team and he's like, I need to see a guy actually try to develop this talent first. Before we decide that this is somebody before we decide that we need to go in another direction. Yeah. It's the absolute smart move to make.
Nice.
So, yeah, I
exciting, man.
100%.
Nice. To wrap things up, any last thoughts? I mean, we went over Karnisovas. I said it right. We went over Eversley, a little bit JJ Polk. We talked about the buffoon that is Boylan, and now we talked about Donovan and just like how we could affect things. You got anything, maybe future hopes about this like organization?
Yeah, well, now there's so much optimism now, Tim.
Yeah.
Now when you look at this organization, it's not just, oh my gosh, oh, we suck again. No, it's like, oh, let's see if we could build a winner here with guys that have proven that they're able to scout well, with guys that have been proven winners. I mean, obviously, none of these guys have won an NBA championship, and that's a whole nother conversation. But at least we're trending in the right direction. If you want to be a championship organization, this is sort of the direction that teams need to be run. So,
agreed.
So it's exciting. It's exciting, Bulls
really
fans.
Exciting, man.
Yes.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching our video. We're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to go over some of the main players for the Bulls, kind of go over a Q&A of how we feel about them moving forward. But, guys, it's just an awesome time to be a Bulls fan. It's an optimistic time. Anything could happen this season. Obviously, we're not winning it all, but just anything could happen. And for once, having that hope is just so awesome.
Yes, we're going in the right direction. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave any comments if you have any. Guys, we're a new YouTube channel. We just want to keep improving. Have a good day.
Take care, guys.